Hey, this is Notser, and this is a user replay. Juicemarck is in the Tier 8 Soviet destroyer Tashkent on the map Neighbors. If you have a replay you would like to submit, please submit it to notserreplay@gmail.com. Please have the replay file, in-score screenshots, 1 to 2 sentence summary, and please include the ship name in the title of the email. I really appreciate all the emails I receive. There are a vast quantity of them, and I try and fill in the gaps in ship variety and also really close games, and this fills both of those needs. The Tashkent is a ship that I just haven't been playing since I had to level through it. It was mediocre at best, but the steering mod is a benefit to its playstyle. It did not lose anything from giving up concealment. It had pretty garbage concealment, so it gained in maneuverability, which is really important to avoiding dying, obviously. And you can play the Tashkent basically as you play the Udaloy and the Hoborovsk. You get 3 level 4s, Demolition Expert, Advanced Firing Training, and Survivability Expert. You'll be really powerful in any Soviet destroyer if you're able to pick up those 3. Obviously, early to mid-tier, don't really expect to get that in a destroyer. Late tier, though, you can absolutely start running into Tashkents, Udaloys, Leningrads, Kiev, the Hoborovsk. You can definitely run into these ships that are super buffed by the level 4s. So, Juice, it's going to be Juice because I just like cutting names really short. Look at this guy in front, this friendly. His name is really long. I would never pronounce that full name more than once. Juice is looking to engage the enemy shores, and that's exactly what it does. At absolute maximum range of the guns. Not a huge risk, and Juice decides to switch to AP, but the shell falls short. The shores can move back. Doesn't look like he's going to have any effective fire on the target. Merely announcing his presence to the enemy. And it's an enemy, Fubuki, who sent torpedoes. The Benson needs to be careful. Don't want to rush out in front of them, you know. No one's ever done that before. And Juice is going to engage. He's got to be careful because the Fubuki, yes, he has another set. There are 3 enemy destroyers on the map. Currently, only 1 is scouted, and he chooses to use his smoke. So, the range on the torpedoes is about what you should expect in a Soviet destroyer. It's basically 1-to-1 with your detectability. That doesn't mean they're not useful. It just means you can't be as sneaky as you would like. And honestly, they have done so much work to try and discourage destroyers from playing just torpedo game. They've been moving them shorter and shorter, and the Japanese are going to be changed. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the Fletcher and the gearing nerfed a little bit. It would hurt me inside, but that's just the way it works out. Juice sent his torpedoes at the smoke. Probably not going to hit anything. If he does, it's just luck, chance. Enemy New Mexico is moving towards the center of the map, just in range, again, and Juice's goal is to fire on the enemy. Juice has come to a complete stop and is sort of backing up. Now, I don't know why he's doing this particular strategy. Maybe it's because he wants to keep the island in between his ship and the enemy. Notice how large the bloom is whenever he fires. It goes past his effective gun range. So, yeah, I think he was actually trying to last as long as possible without being spotted. He sets the target on fire, and that's really what you want to work towards. The enemy has put it out aggressively. We don't see the damage counter in the top right. We also don't see it on the target itself. So we know he's going to be immune for maybe 7, 8, 9 seconds more. He decides to fire on Juice, and Juice is aware. He looks like he's going port. Doesn't hit him at all, which is great. It would be lovely if he could set him on fire, and the island's in the way. Don't run into the island now. You would not want to run into the island. Enemy destroyer in the Fubuki is sort of moving towards there's a friendly destroyer that is scouting him out, and oh boy, you need to lead a little bit more than that, Juice. It's really easy to undershoot, and it looks like the Fubuki is actually possibly slowing down. So, come on, Juice, you can get this guy. Punish the visible Fubuki. Coyote is maybe attempting to use the smoke to his advantage. I don't know what he's doing. This is a bad play. Straight up bad play, showing a perfect broadside. This should be the kill shot. Next salvo. Absolutely next salvo. And there we go. Juice gets his first kill. Didn't really do all the damage on the target, but he wasn't just sniping. He deserved a chance at that kill, and he just got lucky with his reload. Enemies are everywhere. His team only has C, which is not good, but it's not bad. There's no reason to panic. If your team can trade well with the ships, they're not going to outscale you that much. I mean, it is noticeable if the enemy team would have 2 bases for, I don't know, 13 more minutes. But if Juice and his team can get a ship advantage, 1 or 2 ships is going to cover the difference for a really long time. So this Hipper is in the way, out in the open. Juice is firing over the island using his smoke, blocking all line of sight. He is now detected by something, and he's just immediately looking for it. Juice is keenly aware of exactly what he can do and when he is detected. And that is the mark of a really strong destroyer captain. You need to manipulate the game to your advantage. There are plenty of things that aren't in your advantage. Like, you know, the cruisers and other destroyers and battleships and aircraft carriers. You don't have a lot of health to make a mistake. It's just 1, 2, 3 salvos, you're dead. Good enemy teams will always focus destroyers because they recognize that destroyers are really what push the tempo of any objective play at all. Any. And if you recognize there's a good one, well, you should try your best effort to take them out. Now, the Tashkent is very large. It's probably the easiest destroyer to hit at range. I'm not overstating that. This sucker is probably the size of the light cruiser line that's coming for the British. It's just massive. It's not what a American or a Brit or a Japanese would consider a destroyer in the real sense. It's just so large. So a 10, 11, 12 kilometer shot is reasonable for the enemy to hit every once in a while. And it looks like a couple friendlies for Juice are moving towards B. I would hope that they have smoke, because there's a lot of enemies incoming. And Juice is honestly opening himself up to enemy fire. This is very dangerous, Juice. He seems to be wanting to engage the Atlanta, maybe taking him out. Ooh, he hit some of his torpedoes that he sent. Well, he hit one. He hit one torpedo, caused a flood, and it looks like the enemy put the flood out. The Atlanta is dead. There is smoke blocking, and he's going to rush into the smoke, probably dropping his speed immediately. He's got 30 seconds left. Oh, enemy Nürnberg took some torpedoes, I believe, and I think it's going to flood out. Oh, that was such a kill secure. Juice, I probably would have done the same thing, but boy, that was a kill secure. That guy was probably dead, and if he wasn't dead to the torpedo or the dot, one of the guys that actually did it, you know, the guy with the 15 or 20 character name, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. It looks German to me. But there's 3 friendly destroyers inside a smoke with at least 2 enemy ships right on top of them. And yes, here come torpedoes. So everyone's diving into the smoke. Everyone's diving into the island. And is Juice a little bit too close? Is he going to pull a Notser? Ooh. Friendly destroyer did not react to the torpedoes. That is a misplay. It was very obvious that torpedoes were incoming to a smoke full of destroyers. And the Benson is being detected by the Dunkirk. It's too close. The Benson can't get away. He has to kill it in order to hide. There's no reason to try and run all you want to do is kill the target. And the Benson misses with his torpedoes, which is very unfortunate. But it looks like Juice is going to deliver. And yes, he does. He takes out the enemy battleship. He's got one set left. There is an enemy New Mexico in the area, and it looks like Juice wants to torpedo him. There's also a Scharnhorst, which is right on the edge, so he got a little lucky here. The Scharnhorst cannot detect him, and it looks like he doesn't actually want to send his torpedoes, since it appears the New Mexico has pulled off and is not going to go around the island and run blindly into possible torpedoes. He's just not going to do that. So instead, he turns back towards B, which they have safely. There's no chance that Juice's team will take B anytime soon. But Juice's team has one more kill, and you can notice it's a very close game. This is what I'm talking about. It's not worth your stress to throw your ship away. Honestly, those 3 destroyers, they could have done just massive damage to the enemy team if they would have not tried to take B in an obvious scenario. They should have just bailed out, refocused on maybe just try to take out one battleship, and obviously the torpedoes that were sent for the Gneisenau not going to work. And I think he actually ran to the island. I think that was a tactical. That was a tactical Notser. Oh, the New Mexico's coming, but he doesn't have his torpedoes up. He's got to pop his smoke. Otherwise, the New Mexico's going to take him out. Do massive damage at least. It'll be at least one salvo if the smoke wasn't there on him. And yes, there is a Scharnhorst as well. The Scharnhorst is keeping his distance, though. And that's good and bad. He could make use of those torpedoes, though, which would be really nice going into the smoke. The New Mexico is considering it. This is a textbook. You know what? Maybe I want to go this way. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe there's smoke there. Is the enemy there? Do I want to? Does he have torpedoes? Oh yeah, he's got his torpedoes. And it looks like Juice is like, the game is like frozen. He's just waiting. I could never just immediately stop. It's like he went AFK. He's just waiting. His heart is pounding, apparently. He's just waiting for the New Mexico to show up. Oh, there he is. Look at the New Mexico. He went forward just a touch, and he just sends it all. Hoping the New Mexico hasn't moved. I would say that maybe you don't need all 9 to hit him, to kill him. Maybe spread it just a little bit more. But he sent it. He has to live with this choice, and oh boy, the choice was good. He needed 7 torpedoes to kill him, so he did exactly what he needed to do, and he hit dead center. Wow. If the New Mexico would have done anything else, moved forward, moved back, he would have avoided dying. But because he was indecisive, he's dead. And just in time, too. The smoke is gone. The smoke is gone. And the Scharnhorst is trying to capture C. This is a big deal at this point in the game. There is no benefit for Juice's team. They're going to lose control over the possibility of winning if they don't do something. Take out the Scharnhorst, deny it, maybe take out one of these battleships in the center of the map. It is a possibility. Stranger things have happened. I'm not aware of Juice's team health, though. There are 3 friendly battleships against 3 enemy battleships. There's an enemy destroyer that was somewhere in the southeast, last known position. And Juice is detected. So, yeah, that's exactly what it means, Juice. Yeah. Oh, Fubuki, the dude that we started out the game engaging, is in range to be detected. And that's a huge mistake by the Fubuki. And hopefully Juice can make him pay, because we're rooting for Juice, of course. And he's doing a good job of avoiding the shots. Much easier with steering module. Remember, it's available to tier 8, 9, and 10 destroyers and cruisers. Nice! He gets Kraken unleashed. But the enemy team has 3 bases, so there's 0. So they got to make even more happen. The team has to take out the Gneisenau, work on the Scharnhorst, They need these kills. Good. 2 fires on the enemy guys now. 1 from Juice, the other from a friendly. And honestly, Juice could switch to AP and do quite well. Juice can switch to AP and do quite well. See how little damage it's doing? It's because it's hitting damaged sections of the ship. Either way, he gets the kill. He gets lucky on that shot, I guess. The enemy did send us torpedoes. Good, good. Either Juice knew something that I didn't, or he just expected the torpedoes. So now, the enemy New Mexico, another enemy New Mexico. Is he going to be stationary? Probably not. Will the torpedoes work out? Of course not. He's just got to work them down. He's got to avoid taking damage. The nice thing about U.S. battleships, from a destroyer's point of view, their secondary range is garbage. You don't have to worry about it until you're right on top of them. I can't think of a good reason to run any secondary modifiers on a U.S. battleship. It's just not worth it. There are so many better modules to get. So their team, they took B. That's nice. The Scharnhorst is still alive. It looks like 2 friendly battleships are going for the Scharnhorst, while the remaining team is pushing on the New Mexico. And the New Mexico is angled quite well. He's hitting a couple shots here and there. And unfortunately for Juice, one of the shots hit his front gun, one of the 2 turrets. So he basically lost 50% of his effective DPS while he's pushing forward. And he's got HE loaded. He's trying to set the target on fire. But notice how blackened the center of the ship is. It's going to take less HE damage. And, ooh, that was a bad luck shot there. I think he got hit by 2 shells. Oh, again! He's thin as a blade. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. The only thing I would probably say is he needs to try and actively maneuver when he sees the target shoot. You might be able to avoid 1 extra shell every once in a while if you do it. And the target has 1 fire on him, and come on, we need another fire. He's actually losing this health race, and oh man, you're going to take a big shot here. Any second now, the New Mexico is going to fire Juice. Oh, secondary does a critical damaging shot. Oh, he missed. Luckily, he missed again. Wow, okay. The race is on. 2 fires on the enemy New Mexico. You just got to send your torpedoes. You have nothing else you could do. Now, could he have held on to 1? Used 2 of them to force the target to angle a certain way and then crisscross him? Yes, that's what I think he probably wishes he could have done. And the New Mexico is doing everything in his power to avoid it. I think he did. Yes, he has avoided the torpedoes. And oh no, it's going to give the New Mexico 1 more shot. And I think it's going to be enough. Oh, he's dead. Wow. Did you just look at all the point changes there? The enemy Scharnhorst died. The enemy Scharnhorst killed someone. The New Mexico killed Juicebox, and then a friendly killed the New Mexico. That was so close to the enemy team winning the game in a span of 3 or 4 seconds. But they didn't. Juicemarck was able to assist his team, get 6 kills, Kraken unleashed, devastating strike, 9 torpedo hits. He could have gotten more though. That is a mistake. I know Juice knows that. But when you have 3 sets, just force the target to commit to one direction and then cross it again. That way you maximize your chance to hit. But they won the game. That's all that counts, and Juice got half of the team's kills. So that means something. Great job, Juice. Juice earned 2,352 base XP, and he's head and shoulders above everyone else on either side. It showed in the game, of course. Great job using your torpedoes, smoke, every aspect of the Tashkent to your advantage. I have never had a game this good in the Tashkent. Congrats, Juice. As far as damage is concerned, 25,000 in HE shells, 72,000 in torpedoes, outstanding, and 20,000 in fires. The torpedoes really did help the team immensely. He had a lot of great prediction torpedoes. He really did a great job in maximizing the potential for the Tashkent's torpedo systems. So, I hope everyone enjoyed seeing Juicemarck in the Tashkent. I certainly did. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.